Hello. Today we have with us two of the principals from the MARPOL Training Institute, a California-based company that has developed a remarkable set of computer-based training programs for mariners covering the international marine pollution regulations called MARPOL and the U.S. EPA's Vessel General Permit. Please welcome Captain Bob Hall and Chief Engineer and Naval Architect David Hiller. Gentlemen, how did you get into this business?
A few years ago, I was traveling worldwide to deliver waste management training to vessel crews whose companies had been caught violating MARPOL. This training was a condition of the environmental compliance plan imposed by the U.S. Department of Justice as punishment for the MARPOL violations. The required training meant that I had to return to each ship whenever a new crew joined the vessel. This was very expensive for the owners and managers of these vessels, and it was not the most efficient way to train. Captain Hall approached me with a proposal. What if we combined your knowledge of vessel systems with my ability to present training in a computer-based environment? So that's how we got started.
Captain Hall, tell us why it's important for a ship owner or manager to install your training programs aboard their vessels.
Well, for two reasons. First, it is an economical and efficient way to ensure proper training. Second, it is an effective way for the company to demonstrate best efforts to train crews and comply with environmental regulations. In our experience, if a company adopts our training programs, requires each crew to take the training as a matter of company policy, keeps a record to verify the training has been completed, and then if a crew member violates the regulations, the regulatory bodies focus on the individual, greatly mitigating the fines against the company.
I have read about fines being as large as $40 million. Can you tell me about some recent cases?
Yes, although we will not mention companies by name. In one case, a chief engineer dumped some oily water overboard, and this was witnessed and reported by a crew member to the U.S. Coast Guard. The attorneys we worked with were able to mitigate the fine substantially with the promise of installing our training programs aboard their vessels.
David, just how good are these programs?
Well, the MARPOL training program, meeting MARPOL standards, is quickly becoming recognized as the industry standard. It is certified by DNV, the Norwegian Classification Society, Det Norske Veritas, and is approved by the U.S. Probation Office. Recently, we were appointed by the U.S. Coast Guard as the approved training company in a MARPOL violation case. Our programs are installed now on more than 350 ships.
That's impressive. How long does it take to complete one of your training programs?
The programs have different tracks for different types of vessels and the various crew positions aboard those vessels. For example, the master's track for a chemical bulk carrier is about 10 hours. For an engineer of any type of vessel, it is about 4 to 6 hours. Each track contains interactive exercises, games, and an audio-visual presentation to engage the learner and hold their interest.
To sum it up, if a ship owner or manager purchases your programs for their vessels and sets a policy that this training is required, they are helping to protect themselves from the marine pollution violations and possible fines. This seems like a good investment to me. Are you also offering your training online?
Yes, just visit marpoltraining.com to see demonstrations of our programs and to purchase an online training license. We also offer to ship owners, managers, and the maritime training schools the software for installation for their use.
Thank you, Captain Hall and Mr. Hiller, for speaking with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.